Hello everyone and welcome to my channel. My name is Donna and I am the Creole Crafter. I have 13 Valentine's Day Dollar Tree DIYs. DIY number 1. You need some white paint, red paint, and some Mod Podge, a terracotta pot, wooden beads, gems, and twine. You also need one of those little crates from Dollar Tree, some baby Brett's flowers, and some jute twine. And this is just a little tray that we're going to do. You can add it to your side table or a shelf. And here you take your tray and you completely paint the whole thing in white chalk paint. If that's the color that you like, you can use whatever color you want. I just chose white. And here I'm going to paint the little terracotta pot in this, those miniature terracotta pots. And I found maybe like about 10 of those from one of the thrift stores in my community for like 50 cents. So I'm going to paint that whole entire pot red. And I'm showing you here where my tray is completely dry, and I added 4 wooden beads, which I painted white, and I placed them on the bottom on all 4 corners to become feet, to make it a riser. And here I'm showing you where I painted the pot red and I added the jute twine bow, finger bow, and I used some green moss on top of a tiny piece of floral foam, and I added the baby breaths. And I also took the little tiny beads and I painted them red and white. I made a tiny tassel and a tiny heart out of cardboard. And everything has been painted and dried, so what's left for you to do is just place it on your tray however you like. And I also decided to add some of those tiny Scrabble tiles, which will spell out love. But if you decide to do this video, you can spell out whichever word you choose. And I also added some of those gems from Dollar Tree, the red ones and the white ones, just for a little more embellishment. And I think this DIY came out absolutely adorable. Leave me a comment and let me know what you think about it. And I hope you like it as much as I do. And y'all, it's 2023. It's a new year. And I have so many ideas for inspiration to inspire you with these DIYs in my video. And there it is. Isn't it cute? DIY number 2. And this DIYs, I was thinking about the men when I did this project. And you'll need one of those loads of love signs from Dollar Tree, some paint, red, white, and pink, one of the XOXO signs, and one of the little truck signs from Dollar Tree. And right here, you see where I started painting my XOXO. And I'm just going to show you that I took a little small paintbrush and painted each letter individual. Of course, you don't have to do pink. You can do whatever color you like. But I thought about the guys for Valentine's Day, because it's always more like for the ladies with the flowers and the hearts and the candy. So if your husband or significant other has a man cave, this would be a great Valentine's Day gift for them. They can put it in their man cave because it's a truck which is hauling a large XOX signs that says loads of love. And you don't have to do it in Valentine's Day color. You can do it in their favorite sports team color. And you may put one of the sports team's emblem on it to embellish it, or, whatever the case may be. And right here, I'm showing you where I painted everything. I took the loads of love sign and I painted it black and put white stripes on it to represent a street. I took the truck and I painted the front of the truck white, which became the back of the truck, and I painted the back of the truck black, which became the front of the truck. And I added the words loads of love with those gold letters that I got from Walmart. And at the bottom of that, I wrote in special delivery. And here, that craft stick, I just cut it down to let it represent a trailer, which will haul the which will hold the XOXO sign. And the wooden slices, I painted them to look like wheels. And right now I'm just going to hot glue everything together. I think this project came out really, really adorable. And I feel like it fits in like, what I want to say, masculine colors. For men, that would be nice, so they can feel, not saying that they're excluded on Valentine's Day, but so they can feel like they're included. You know what I'm trying to say. Y'all know what I'm trying to say. And I'm just placing them on one side of the stripes so it can actually look like the truck is going down a lane on the highway. This is so cute. I love this. And I hope you like it as much as I do. If you do, leave me a comment and let me know what you think. Let me know if that's a good idea for your significant other. Isn't that adorable? And I painted on a door and a window, which is not perfect because I am no artist at all, but I do my best. I think this is so, so adorable. And I added those table scatter hearts. I added 3 to the top and 3 to the bottom. Loads of love, special delivery for you, dear. DIY number 3. DIY number 3 is a riser with 4 blocks with L, V, E, and a rose representing the O. And I'll just go through the products that I used. And I used some sparklings and those little tiny beads. I ordered those beads off Amazon. And when I received, when I got the beads, I noticed it had these little tiny beads. And I'm like, what in the world am I going to do with these little beads? So this came up. I put the spackling in the holes because what I'm going to use them for, I didn't want the holes to show. So that's what I'm doing here. And don't forget, you guys, if you're feeling my channel, you're feeling my DIY projects in this video, give me a big thumbs up. Hit that subscribe button so you can become a part of my YouTube family. And be sure and hit the notification bell so you'll be notified, because this year I have so many wonderful ideas to inspire you with. So you don't want to miss out on that. Okay, right here I'm going to paint those beads. I put them in a little cup. And I'm going to put a tiny amount of paint in them. And move them around with my paintbrush. And paint them white. And that's what I'm doing right here. I'm just making sure that all of the beads are covered with paint. And I had this little plastic top. It came off a container. Can't remember what container I took it off of, but I didn't throw it away. So I'm using that to put the beads on to dry, and I'm using my heating tool to dry the beads. And right here I have a set of dice, 4 in a pack from Dollar Tree. And I'm just going to take them out the pack. And I'm going to paint them all, give them one coat of white paint. And I'll tell you why I did that. But first I must see if I can roll me a 7 of these dice. Well, guess not. But anyway, I painted them all completely, all sides white. And I did that because of the black dots and the bright colors on the dice. because I'm going to come back with a red paint, and I didn't want to have to go and do like 3 and 4 paints to cover those dots. So I did a coat of the white paint first. And as you can see there, I've already started with the little tiny beads to spell out my letters. And I have a pack of those foam roses from Dollar Tree. They come in white, red, and pink. And I chose to use a white one because my letters are white. And I'm going to use some hot glue to glue that flower to one of the blocks. And the other 3 blocks will have a L, a V, and an E on them. And I didn't let you see me put in an L and a V. I didn't video that, but I will let you see me do the E so you can see how I did it. And all I did was took each individual bead, placed a little glue on it. I'm using the Fix All glue, super glue from Dollar Tree. And I put a little dab of glue on it, and I arranged the letters to make an E. And this DIY is actually simple, but it came out so beautiful. It really did. I really love it. And guess what? I hope you guys like it as much as I do. And I also want to take this time to thank all my subscribers for subscribing to my channel. You are wonderful, and I appreciate each and every one of you. And if you're just dropping in and watching, thank you for tuning in. You are appreciated too. And I love each and every one of you. And don't forget, if you like the content in my video, consider subscribing. Consider becoming a part of the family. And right here, I'm showing you where I completely painted the wood slice, I want to say, a wood plaque. And I didn't worry about painting the bottom. I did the top and the sides because I knew I had wanted to glue those beads on the bottom and all 4 corners to become feet to make the plaque a riser. And I use hot glue to do that with. And all you need to do when you do this project, and when you have painted everything and embellished those blocks with the beads, you just need to place them on top of the riser. I didn't glue them together because I figured, you know, as the season go out, I may be able to put something else on that riser. So I didn't glue them down to the riser. And I didn't glue them together. But I took some of that gingham red and white ribbon from Dollar Tree, and I put it alongside the whole entire set of blocks, and I tied just a shoestring bow on the top to embellish it. And I think that is so adorable. I really, really do. And I also took some of those red gems and I just placed them on the riser just for a little bit more embellishment. And you don't just necessarily need that round plaque. You can use any piece of scrap wood, and you can arrange your blocks to spell love, the word love, vertical, or you can set them up horizontal. You know, whatever you like. DIY number 4. DIY number 4 is a shabby chic vintage heart. Okay, here's what you need for this project. You need some type of floral from Dollar Tree, some burlap ribbon from Dollar Tree, a string of pearl beads, some miniature beads. You also need some lace ribbon from Dollar Tree, Mod Podge, and white paint. And you'll need a wooden heart from Dollar Tree. And that paper heart that I have, I cut that out of the calendar, which also came from Dollar Tree. And I'll show you, excuse me, I'll show you right here which one I used. And I cut that one out. I pulled the sheet out of the calendar and I cut the heart out with my scissors. And I was going to use the Mod Podge to adhere the paper heart to the wooden heart. But I didn't end up using the Mod Podge because I was afraid of, bubbling or wrinkling. So I used the Aleene's tacky glue. And I find that when I use that glue, I don't have as much of that bubbling and wrinkles. So that's what I decided to use. And I used it to adhere the lace to the outer edge of the wooden heart. And I just put just a small bead of glue all the way around the heart and attach the ribbon to it. And that's one of the hearts that I had did for some other project. I never used it, but on one side I used the antique wax paint, and then on the other side I think it was the chocolate sprinkle that I used to paint the heart that color. And it probably was a heart that I had gotten last year from Dollar Tree and just never finished using it. And here, as you can see, I placed all of the lace ribbon around the edges of the heart. And I'm going to adhere the paper heart from the calendar right in the center of the wooden heart. And I'm going to use that same glue to do that. And don't forget, you guys, I'm here to inspire you. If you're watching this video, give me a thumbs up and I'll tell you why. Because when you give me a thumbs up, the more likes that I have, the more YouTube will push my video out so other people can see it. And if you get inspired by watching one of my videos and you decide to do one of my DIYs or do something like that, to your own taste or whatever, the only way somebody else is going to get that, what you're getting, is if you give me a big thumbs up. So that's kind of basically important when you're watching the videos, because if you get inspired, just think someone else could get that same thing out of one of my videos. So don't forget, give me a big thumbs up and leave me a comment. I love to read you guys' comments. I really, really do. And I get some good comments, and I'm so appreciative for that. I have some very, very friendly and very, subscribers. Really, really good people. And I'm just smoothing out the glue so I don't have any wrinkles. And I'm going to put some more glue on the edges to make sure that the edges don't pop up when it dries. Because if you don't put enough glue on the edges when you're doing something like this, the edges will pop up. Excuse me. So you want to make sure that you catch those edges. And this is pretty enough for you to leave it like that. But I'm going to add some more embellishments to it. I'm going to take that pink burlap ribbon, and I had previously made that bow for something else and never used it. So I'm just going to cut the tails down to fit the heart where I think they should be. I'm just going to take the scissors and cut the tails down, because I didn't want them to be that long, because actually if I would have put it on the heart like that, it would have been longer than the heart. So and all I'm doing is straightening it out, fluffing it up so I can hot glue it to the heart. And that burlap ribbon, Dollar Tree always carry that in different colors all year round. So you can find that at any time at Dollar Tree. And I'm also going to take that lace ribbon and make a simple bow and place that on top of the burlap bow. And I'm going to take those flowers and cut 3 of the buds off and place them on top of the lace ribbon. And of course, I want to add those little pearls to it. You don't have to add all of this that I'm adding. This was just my preference. I'm going to add maybe 3 or 4 pearls on each side of the flowers. And I just took a needle and thread. Well, it's like a twine. It's thicker than thread. And that's what I'm putting the pearls on. And I also like to elaborate on what I said. I'm showing you there. I'm sorry, where I added the pearls. And I added the bigger pearl, the string of pearls, to make a hanger. This came out so adorable. Don't forget to leave a comment. DIY number 5. And it's just a simple love sign. And what I did was just took a piece of scrap wood and I painted the entire sign white. And I let it completely dry. And I decided to take those letters that I got from Dollar Tree. I think they are actually like window clings. They're like, I don't know what kind of material, but they're soft and gooey-like, I want to say. But they cling to everything. They even cling well to the wood. But I decided to take the ribbon, and I wanted to put a ribbon on each end of the sign. So what I did was just measured and cut the ribbon and place it on each end and put 2 dots of hot glue and glued it down on the front and also glued it down on the back. And now I'm going to take those letters in. You can see how they stretch. Look, when I pull it off, and I just place it on the sign, and no glue, no tape, no nothing is necessary. They just clinged to the wood. And I also changed my mind about the ribbon, and I used jute twine, and I placed a little tiny heart on each side of the word love. And I think this is so cute. It will brighten up any lonely shelf in your house or in your home. And I think those letters came in different colors too at Dollar Tree. DIY number 6. And it's a planner, a floral planner. And I took the little small I'm lost for words. Can you believe that? Planners. And I think they come 4 in a pack at Dollar Tree. And I'm going to paint them white. I used 2 of them. I'm going to paint both of them white. I'm going to use a sponge and dab it around the whole entire planner. Yes, that's what I'm doing. But like I was saying before, I want to elaborate on what I was saying about giving me a big thumbs up. And sometimes I don't explain stuff too good the first time I see it. So sometimes I have to come back and re-explain it. But that's just me. But when I said that, I meant that if you are watching the contents in this video and you get something out of it and it inspires you to do something, think about someone else. You are actually blessing the next person when you give me a big thumbs up, because the more thumbs up I get, the more people can watch my video. YouTube will expand it out. So that's what the main thing that I wanted to say, that I'm being a blessing to you and for you to be a blessing to someone else. Let's pass those blessings along, you guys, okay? And you guys, I want to give a shout out to another YouTube creator. She has her YouTube channel and it's called I Be Dolled. Her name is Melinda, and she is a beautiful person. She really, really, truly is a beautiful person. And we have been communicating back and forth a little while now. Both of us are new to YouTube. So you guys, check out her channel. She's very, very talented. Very talented. And guys, I think I got lost in painting that planner. I think that's what happened. I was painting, but I think my mind might have been somewhere else. Okay, now I have 2 of these Christmas signs that I got at Christmas time from Dollar Tree. And I'm going to take some sandpaper and sand all that glitter. Try to get it as smooth as I possibly can. And I do that to both of the signs so I can get them smooth to paint them. And it was kind of rough trying to get that off with that, because that was like a fine grit. Yeah, that was the only sandpaper that I had in the studio inside. So right here, I'm going to take the hardware off of the sign, and it's one of those soft 2 hangers, and they don't have any screws in those. You can just pop those right up. to take both of the signs and completely paint them with white. I'm not going to paint the inside of the bottom because you won't see that. And I think I gave each sign like 2 coats because of the lettering and like those little Christmas trees. It came through after the first coat, so I had to give it a second coat. And right here, it's the smaller one, and it's completely dry. And I'm going to take some antique wax because I want to distress it a bit. So I'm going to use the antique wax and my chippy brush and just put a little of the paint on it and dry brush across. Mainly focusing on like the edges of it. And I'll do both signs that. And right here, I took some screws. And you can find those at Dollar Tree. And I took some more of those table scatters. And I wanted to make, some heart picks. And that's what I did. Just cut it down, the screw down to the size that I wanted. I also painted the screws green so they can actually look like a stem. And I just took some of the flowers, the foam flowers, and I shoved the screw in the bottom of the flower. And I took the hearts and I glued 2 of them together facing each other so you can see, the heart can be seen front and back. And that's what I'm doing here. And I just used a little hot glue to attach them together. And right here you can see I used some of the larger foam flowers from Dollar Tree, and I did some of the smaller flowers in the hearts. I don't know exactly how many I did, but I wish I would have done more, and I did do more afterwards, and you'll see why. So what I'm doing here is I'm just going to take the planner and glue the 2 signs together, put the smaller one on top of the big one so it could form like a platform for the planners. And I'm just using some hot glue to do that with, but you can use whatever kind of glue you like. You can use super glue or Fix-All glue or E6000, but I figured hot glue would hold them together strong enough for me. And I'm placing it directly in the center of the larger sign at the bottom to make sure that it's kind of even on each, all around. And I'm just eyeballing it. I didn't measure it or anything. With like most of the stuff I do, I just eyeball it. I'm not really a measuring type person, but when I have to, I do it. And you just do the same thing with your pots. You just put a bead of hot glue around the top of the pot, which becomes the bottom, and place that on top of the platform. And I also took some floral foam and put it inside of the planner, and I put all of my picks in the planner the way the way they looked nice to me. I just shoved them down into the foam. And I also took some of the reindeer moss. You can get that from Dollar Tree too. Now, when I said that, I wish I would have made more, because I noticed I don't have as many at the back of it. When I turn it around, it's not as full. But later on, I did make some more, and I, made it look fuller. And I think this came out absolutely beautiful. Leave me a comment and let me know what you think. I hope you like it. And I took that jute twine and made a jute twine finger bow. Placed that on top of it, and I also took a button. I found a button that was like a brownish beigeish color, and I placed the button on top of the bow. And you can find those buttons at Dollar Tree, and that twine came from Walmart. It's a little thicker than the twine that Dollar Tree sells, but of course you can use Dollar Tree twine too. And I tried to do all these projects in this video. I tried to use all Dollar Tree products. So if you decide to do any of them, you can go right there and get everything that you need to do the DIY. It's only a couple of things that I used that didn't come from Dollar Tree. And it may have been like the chalk paint or the letters or something. But of course, you can also find those stick-on letters from Dollar Tree. They have all different kinds. Okay, and there it is, complete. Isn't it cute? I think it came out really, really cute. I see at the back where it's not full, but like I said, I went back and made some more picks and filled it. Alright, DIY number 7. DIY number 7 is just a love sign. You can use it for a tea tray or a shelf or a table. Okay, here's what you need: some pink paint, jute twine, one of those rectangular planks from Dollar Tree, and some type of stick-on letters. And I decided to paint my sign pink, so I'm going to paint the entire sign. And I let it dry, and I'm going to use those stick-on letters to spell out the word love. And I also have 2 of the scatter hearts. I'll place those on there too. And I also used 2 jingle box and glued them to the back so it can stand on its own. Really, really cute and really, really simple. I actually took my sign and put it on my coffee bar. Let me know what you think about this one, guys. And I just attached the jingle blocks on the back with some hot glue. DIY number 8. DIY number 8 is just a sign with the 3 hearts in it, which I think is adorable. And I got that sign from Dollar Tree, and all I did was took the frame off of it, and I'm gonna paint the frame white. And Dollar Tree always have signs like this that you can use. And right here, I'm just making sure that's the color that I wanted. White, that's all I'm checking out. And that right there, I was reading the newspaper one day and I saw that, I think they call them columns. I saw that in the newspaper and a light bulb went off. I said, wow, I can use this as a background for a DIY project. So what I'm doing here is just cutting it down to size. I actually measured it, and I'm cutting it down to fit inside of the frame. Look at how cute that is. So I'm just going to take the paper and just glue it down to the glue it down to the sign. Okay, we'll go with that. And again, I'm using the Valentines tacky glue. And I'm going to use the Valentines tacky glue and put it all around the edges of the frame to attach it to the sign. So right here I have some of those hearts out of the table scatter. That bag of table scatter hearts that I got from Dollar Tree. If you notice, I think I've used them in every, if not all the DIYs in this video, at the majority of them. You get so many of them in that pack from Dollar Tree. And that's what I'm using here. And I'm just placing 3, you know, 2 pink and 1 red. And I think that is so cute. DIY number 9. I got a piece of scrap wood out of my wood stash, and I have some of those foam flowers, roses, and a stamp pad with red ink. And I bought these little stamps, letter stamps. I can't even remember when I bought them, but I know I've had them a while, and I have never used them. So I decided to use them this time, and this is my first time, you know, using them right now. So what you see, how they come out, is actually my first time seeing how they come out. And there it is. And I think, you know, I'm going to use them more often because I like that. I like the way at first I was thinking that they're too tiny. You know, that won't look good, but it actually came out nice, pretty. And all I did was dry brushed my piece of scrap wood with some white chalk paint. And I'm going to take the letters KISS, KISS, and I'm going to dab them in the stamping pad and just stamp the letters on the wood to make a word. And it came out so cute. I was actually surprised. So if you go in Dollar Tree and you see those little tiny stamp letters, pick them up. Try them out. You might like them as much as I do. And the little ink pads, they came from, I want to say Dollar General. I think that's where I got those from. They came like 4 or 5 different colors in a pack. And they weren't, you know, they weren't expensive. And it's the perfect little DIY project for your tier tree. And all I did was took some jute twine and I wrapped it around one end of the sign a few times. I think I wrapped it like 2 or 3 times around it, and I glued it on the back. Excuse me. And right here, I'm just arranging the way I want my flowers to go on the sign. And I'm going to use some hot glue and glue them down. that cute, y'all? That is so, so cute. I like that. Leave me a comment and let me know what you think. I hope you like it as much as I do. Look at how cute it is. Aww. DIY number 10. Another one, a scrap piece of wood. I had those farmhouse stickers that I got from Dollar Tree, and I've been had them a while. I haven't seen them lately in Dollar Tree. I got them like last year, and I decided to use them because I had never used them. So same thing as the last DIY, dry brush it with some paint. And before you use your rub-on stickers, you have to make sure that your piece is completely dry. And I also took a piece of some of the jute twine and wrapped it around my sign, like I did in the last one. Yeah, I think I wrapped it maybe 2 or 3 times at the most, and then just hot glued it on the back. And I decided to use the little red truck. And all I did was place it down on the sign and rub the transfer so it can transfer onto the sign. And you can use something like some type of scraping pad, or credit card, or whatever you have on hand to do it with. Yeah, I'm not saying anything because actually I really can't see what I'm doing. I forgot what I was putting on the sign. I can't see it, but I don't want to say the wrong thing. And I must let y'all know that I don't remember because I videoed these DIYs like 3 weeks ago. And then because the new year came in and I actually started doing some spring cleaning, so I'm redesigning my studio. DIY number 11. And it's just a picture with some hearts in it, and it's absolutely adorable. So what I did was I took some this picture frame that I found at one of the thrift stores in my community, and I think it was like 25 cents. But anyway, I took it all apart and I cleaned it. I cleaned the glass, and I'm gonna paint the frame. No, I'm not gonna do anything to the frame. I'm gonna leave the frame as is because of the paper that I'm using, and y'all, what is that paper called? What's the name of that paper? Scrapbook paper, right? Yeah, because it's a black wood type paper. There it is. That's what I'm talking about. I left the frame brown because of that. And what I'm going to do is just use the glass out the frame and measure it and cut it to fit. But I was redoing my craft studio, so I couldn't do my voiceover. Everything was just unplugged, and this was this, and that was that, and that's why I kind of forgot what I did, because the recording is actually about 3 weeks old, but the voiceover, this voiceover is fresh and new. So here I'm just taking a pack of hearts that I got from Dollar Tree, and they have the adhesive already on the back of them. So all you need to do is just place them where you want them to go, and they will stick. So what I did was just place the hearts where I wanted them to go, what was appealing to my eyes, on top of the scrapbook paper. And I use 8 red hearts and 1 little pink heart to center it all off. And I just put it back together and into the frame. And I decided to do a bead hanger. And I painted the beads red, white, and I think I already had some brown ones that I had got from Dollar Tree and some black ones. And I don't know why I threw the black ones in, but I just was feeling it that day when I did it, so I added the black beads to the hanger. And I also added a red gingham ribbon and made it a simple bow and added to it. I think maybe I used the black beads because the back of the frame was black. I don't know. But it came out beautiful. I still like it. Leave me a comment and let me know what you think. I hope you like it as much as I do. DIY number 12. And DIY number 12 is a heart stand. That might be a good word for it. I don't know. Well, it's a heart on the stand, so I'll just say that. But here's what you need if you decide that this is the DIY that you're going to do. Some more of those scatter hearts. And one of those Christmas signs from Dollar Tree. And one of the wooden hearts from Dollar Tree. And those hearts, I noticed that raw wood is kind of rough around the edges, so you might want to sand the edges of your heart down first. And that ribbon, that piece of animal print ribbon, in the springtime, Dollar Tree puts out these straw hats, and some of them have like ribbon tied around them with a bow or whatever. Well, that came off one of those straw hats. And I'm just going to remove the hardware from the sign, sand it down, and paint it. And I'm going to use apple barrel acrylic paint in black. Or did I? No, I used chalkboard from Dollar Tree. Chalkboard black paint. Y'all see what I mean about I forgot what I did? And I decided to paint my fingernail black too. But because everything is rearranged, I don't really quite know where everything is just yet. So it's not like I can look at it and go back to it. So, I mean, it is what it is. I'm going to get it together though. So I paint the whole entire sign black, inside and outside of the sign, front and back and sides. And I'm going to let it completely dry before I do anything else to it. Okay, now I took that scarf and I cut it down to size. I measured it across the wooden heart and I cut it down to the sizes that I needed, and I'm going to use some Mod Podge and Mod Podge it over the entire heart. I'm going to place one strip down at a time. Mod Podge the heart and Mod Podge the scarf. As I place it on the heart, I'm going to just do the top with Mod Podge too, and that helped with holding it in place. Yeah, I think this DIY came out gorgeous, and I must let you know that this is my favorite. I love this one. Okay, now it's time to put everything together. Everything is completely dry, and I have that vase in my stash, and I because I wasn't gonna, it just was gonna be a just stand up heart in a frame. But when I looked at and saw that vase, I saw that it had little tiny hearts at the bottom of that vase, and I said, oh, I can use this with this DIY. So what I did was I painted the vase with that same chalk paint, and I'm gonna dry brush the little hearts at the bottom that I'm showing you right there. I'm just gonna take some paint, white paint, and dry brush just the hearts so they can pop out. And see, that's what I was telling you about me. I'll get all my stuff together, everything that I'm gonna do a particular DIY with, and then along the way, I totally change my mind and use something else. I'll add this or I'll take that away, and I'm sure you guys can feel what I'm talking about, because I know you all do the same thing. And if you're one of those guys like me that does that, leave me a comment and let me know. And here I'm showing you where after it was completely dry, I just took my little scissors and trimmed it around the shape of the heart. And I'm going to take a jingle block and glue it to the back of the heart, because I want it to be like three-dimensional inside of that box. I didn't want it to sit flat in the box. And again, I want to take this time to thank all my subscribers for tuning in. Thank you so much for subscribing to my channel. I love each and every one of you. And those that are new, that's just tuning in, consider subscribing and becoming a part of the family. And thank you so much for watching my video. I deeply appreciate that. And don't forget, guys, check out my friend Melinda at IB Dowd. I'll drop her link to her channel in my description box. She's a beautiful person, you all. And very talented, very, very talented. And I also decided to take another one of those little scatter hearts and place it in the middle just for a pop of Valentine's Day color. And I also took some of that same scarf and some of the lace ribbon, and I made 2 bows. And right here I'm just trying to see where I'm going to place the bow, but I ultimately decided to place it at the top left hand corner. And all I used was a little dab of hot glue to glue it to the sign. And right here, I just have one of the little tiny hearts, and I'm trying to decide whether or not to put it on the bow, in the middle of the bow, but I decided not to. I just didn't like the way that looked. And I also took a few of those little mini pearls and embellished the bow with that. And I'm going to use some hot glue and glue it to the stand. And there it is. Isn't that lovely? I think it came out so beautiful. DIY number 13. Farmhouse rustic heart. And this is so adorable, y'all. This is so cute. So cute. Okay, I have one of those. I had found these at Family Dollar in the springtime last year, and they had put them in clearance, and I got them for 25 cents. And I think it was maybe about 3 or 4 of them that I found, but they have different saying welcomes and family and, on up, they all aren't the same, but they each either had a cow or a pig or something like that on them. But anyway, what I decided to do was take the cow and the sign off. And I used my wire cutters because they were stapled down with staples. And I'm not going to do anything else to that, because I love the distressing that's on it already. I love the welcome sign. I'm not going to do anything to it. Just leave it like that. And I'm going to put the cow and the sign aside because I can use that for another DIY. Now I have one of those hearts from Dollar Tree. What I'm going to do is I'm going to sponge white paint on it and let it completely dry. And I'm going to take some of that antique and wax and take a sponge and dry brush the edges of the heart and distress the heart. And I have some buffalo check material that I cut down to size to fit across the middle of the heart. and also some of that lace heart material from Dollar Tree. And both of those, well, the lace heart material came from Dollar Tree, but the buffalo check, I bought that from Walmart in the sewing department. Was just a bulk material, and I've had it a while from Walmart, and I just used a piece of it, cut it down, place it across the heart, and I use hot glue to glue the buffalo check and the lace material down, and I just flipped it over and trimmed it down and hot glued on the back. And I wanted to try to make it as neat as I could, because I knew once I put it in the frame with the wiring that I really didn't know how I was going to cover the back because of the wiring and the heart being metal. I haven't figured that out yet. Maybe later I'll figure it out, but that's why I wanted to be so neat with it at the back, hot gluing it down. And I decided to glue the heart to the chicken wire. I used super glue and hot glue. And that super glue is that Fix All adhesive from Dollar Tree by Super Glue. That's what that is. I use that. And I also use some hot glue. And I tried to put a little weight on it until it, until the glue dried. And all I did was took a few sprigs of boxwood. You can get that boxwood from Walmart. I think it's like $1.29 a bunch, and you get a lot on a bunch. So I'm gonna take that and I'm gonna pull it off again. Oh, okay. I guess I needed you all to see me pull those off again. Yeah. So I'm going to use that, and those green berries, they came off of a pick that I got from Dollar Tree. And I'm going to use 2 of those bunches. Yeah, I apologize for making y'all see me do that twice, but if you look back and go back to some of my first videos, my editing skills, oh my God, I think I have came a long way. Some of my editing skills in the beginning were just awful. I mean, absolutely awful, but I have improved. And each and every time I do a DIY and do my editing, each and every time I improve a little bit. So I thank God for that. And I use hot glue to attach those to the heart and the chicken wire at the bottom of the heart. And I'm just using that silicone spatula because I don't want to burn my fingers. But you can use, and I have those finger protectors, never ever put them on. Never put them on, but have them. So you can use those finger protectors to protect your finger whenever you're using hot glue. And I'm going to use the foam roses from Dollar Tree. I'm going to embellish with 2 of them. And all I'm doing is hot gluing them on top of the greenery. Isn't that beautiful? I love that. Again, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.